Only in the pages of a worn book can we find the history of what was once a black township. The weathered photographs tell only a partial story of one of the most famous streets in American cultural history, 18th and Vine in Kansas City, Missouri. Famous and infamous at the same time, it was called a city within a city. A deliberate set apart, known as segregation, bred the jazz sound of swing that would sweep the world and make the names like Count Basie, Mary Lou Williams, and Charlie Parker legendary for over a century now. But what is happening to this history and culture as the words urban renewal of the 1960s combines with the term gentrification to finish demolition of historic buildings and displacement of residents, but most of all, the silencing of the voices of the people who live, work, and have their memories here. Those once majestic homes, black-owned businesses, social soirees, schools, and church are being moved, shoved aside as the culture and origins of the music seem to take a back seat to the elaborate marketing schemes that in no way reflect the images of the African American heritage known through 18 and Vine. There is always a debate on what can be done for economic development to benefit these situations in rapidly gentrifying urban areas, but there is to be an attempt to save this heritage. Those who have paid the price to remain in their communities and fight for their culture must be heard. Save 18th and Vine. If you love 18th and Vine, you need to be at this meeting. There will be a vote to rezone property on 18th and Vine for heavy commercial use. This is going to drastically change the history of 18th and Vine. Attend this meeting and let your voice be heard. January 13th at 5:30 at Parson and Associates. Address 1780 Woodland Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri, 64108.
All right, so I'm still with Dr. Batter out here at 18th and Vine. So where are we at right now? Let's talk about the west part of 18th and Vine. Got it?
Well, right now, as you can see across the street are the Vine Street lofts. And this is my concern, the families over here, and the families that they plan to have. And that I'm really hoping that people will be more informed. In fact, January the 16th, there's a public meeting. Again, at Mr. Parson's office, who's a developer on the water department building. And then the city council is the vote January the 21st on a major change to the original development plan down here. Because we were supposed to have the same designation, as I said, in October of last year was voted for that, like downtown residential. You see the.
So this is you want more of this, more residential.
More of this,
Gotcha.
Houses. These are affordable, apartments that people can live in. You see, we have a beautiful view of downtown. They're close to the district, the
And
class.
this is where they want that
Behind this building over there.
That's where they want to put everything at.
Behind this building over
Right
there,
here.
not the
Okay,
castle,
Okay, this is
but
right
the
here.
water department building.
Wow. So that's right by you.
Yes, it's right by us. It's right by all these people. It's right by the church down there, Centennial, and all those apartment buildings and families and children.
Wow, all right. So as far as the community, what can the community do again? What do you got coming up? Let's talk about what can the community do? What's going on January 21st?
January the 21st is the city zoning commission is going to vote on this major change in the zone down here to allow this type of venue like grinders or knuckleheads. And when I think about, is this what they're going to show us? That they're giving to us on the east side is the worst of the crossroads?
Wow.
And it's a major health issue now. major health issue.
And your main thing is community first. That's what 18th and Vaughn was basically founded
It's supposed to be for the community.
Right.
The growth of families.
Yes.
Churches.
Mm-hmm.
A village.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a village all up on this hill. And families working together. Proud to see their area restored.
Nice. So what can they do to help you? What is your plan? What can they do to help you right now?
I think you need to call the mayor's office, because Mayor Lucas, you promised us the realization of our dream. You promised us that we, on the east side, would finally get what we felt we justly deserved. And Brandon Ellington, they need to contact him. They need to contact Melissa Robinson. They need to just make everyone aware of what's going on down here. You know, that one developer of this water department building across here wants to bring a venue like Grinders or Knuckleheads in the heart of our community. And it's very hurting.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're going to have all the information, where you can find all information, what's going on, the story, what's going on, how you can make a difference, and how you can help Dr. Battle to keep our communities back here in 18th and Vaughn. All right, all the information is going to be at the bottom of the screen. Anything else you want to say to the community?
The only thing I can say is I'm just praying to God right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm praying to God that something like this doesn't happen here.
We are here first, all right? And the heart is going to reach the heart, Dr. Battle. And we appreciate you. You know, I'm one of the millennials. And I get what you're saying. I understand what you are about the communities. You want to see little kids outside playing basketball again.
I want to see babies being strolled.
Right.
I want to see people walking their dogs.
Right.
You know, and how is that going to happen? That when doors open at 7:30, people be down here at 5:30 in the evening trying to even find a parking space.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, thousands of people.
Wow. So they heard it from your mouth, all right? You guys, let's do something, all right? Let's support her. Let's support Dr. Battle. Like I said, all the information is going to be at the bottom of the screen. I support you, all right? And I thank you for the interview. All right.
I thank you.
All right. So let's go into the story. What is your concern right now, Dr. Battle?
Well, my concern right now is, and I have to give my mother credit, because when the mailman comes, you know, she gets the mail, and, you know, this particular piece of mail was addressed to both of us. And my mother had opened it and read it, because, you know, it was from the city. And my mother was like, "Baby, I think you better look at this." And at first I was like, So the next day I just happened to open it up. And lo and behold, I was informed that there was going to be a public meeting about a major zone change. And the zone change, in fact, on the letter, it was saying that a meeting was going to take place at Parsons and Associates office on 1780 Woodland from 5:30 to 6:30, December the 16th. So when I looked up, saw B2 to B4, you know, I said, well, let me start looking at zoning. You know, I got on my computer, and it said heavy industrial and commercial. And in fact, I turned to my son, Attorney Lake, and I said, what is this? What is a B4? That's when I, you know, found out it was heavy commercial industrial. And I'm like, are they going to put a processing plant back there? Well, what's going on back there? And so I immediately called up, you know, some people in the area, developers, asking them, about, what was going on back there. And I went to a short meeting to talk with the developers behind 2000 Vine Street, the Water Department building. And this was before the official public meeting notice. And I'm looking at him and saying, what are you doing back here? You're talking about trucks or chemical plants, or what are we're talking about? So at that time he said, well, we're talking about something like, grinders. I said, grinders? I said, you mean that outdoor entertainment venue?
Like a concert spot.
Where they had those concerts with thousands of people and hundreds of cars in the crossroads? And I said, you want to bring that down here?
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, where are these cars going to park? Where are these people going to go? Where's the noise, issues? And so then we left it at that, because I was just so upset. I was literally very, very upset. Public notice down in Mr. Parson's office, who is one of the developers of the Water Department building, says B4. City planning, they're going to vote on a B4-5, which I totally didn't understand at that point. I don't see how anyone who wants the best for the East Side can like this idea. I've reached out to the ministers, Centennial Church up there on 18th and Woodland. I've reached out to Bethel, AMM. You want a community to grow. You want young people in here, children, families. We need this cohesiveness. And
so you think if they build more stuff, if they keep on building buildings like that, we are losing our community?
If they're going to do something like this down here, who will want to come down here? Would you want to purchase a house down here, knowing that from May to October, it's going to be 2 or 3 shows, 3 or 4 shows a week? Because according to Mr. Duggan, I think it's Pilot Productions or something, that's supposed to run the venue, the same one that does Grinders, and they have 30 or 40 shows per week. We want a community where we can grow, where children can grow in these churches.
That's what you want to see, more churches,
more community churches, the children going to the churches. I was almost in tears. It was snowing, and I saw all the little small children out playing, beside Centennial Church, because there are all sorts of apartment complexes back there.
But you don't see that.
And my heart, no, they were back there playing, because these are buildings that have been built, since they started, putting money into restoring that area. We're talking about young families down here and hardworking people that their whole life is going to be disrupted. Just the health implications of it all. And which I even mentioned, I believe, to Mr. Jason Parsons, who is also one of the developers that wants to do this, because he's on the Black Coalition of Health. And this is a major health issue.
So you took all the protocols, you did everything to reach out to these people, let them know, hey, this is, and most people don't do that. I give you props for that.
Well, I really have to let them know that I felt that this was just wrong. I think that we should have our neighborhoods restored to where they were. And to see the churches in the area grow more as the little ones, get to adulthood. We deserve these images.